What's up everyone? That Tile Chick here. And today I'm coming at you with something a little bit different. I'm going to keep my butt right here in this chair and we're going to talk about my exact philosophy for bidding projects. All right, so this video is going to be all about my bidding process, or how to bid for profit. Yeah, I like that. How to bid for profit. If you are new here, I used to be an accountant for like 10 years. I started a business back in 2017 for general contracting with my fiance and I, and now we scaled back to setting tile back in 2020. So we focus primarily on tile, and our bread and butter is like all tile installations, and really bathrooms is where we really focus most of our time. So how did I get to where I am today? To give you a quick background, when we started our business, we were very new. We really didn't treat it like a business, and that is a problem. We were trying to take on any project that we can get to, quote unquote, get our name out there. And if you are new, you probably are doing and have done the same thing. Now, while you may think you're making money just because you're collecting money, if you are not actually looking at your business, you're probably not making money. So this video is going to be a quick intro about how I narrow down the process for bidding projects and weeding out those clients that are just not fit for my business. So before we get into it, I also just quickly want to talk about how, while you are in the service industry, don't think that you need to service everybody. Not everybody is your customer, and thinking everybody is your customer and is worthy of your time can really lead to the demise of your business, especially if you are not making a profit. Now, while the woman down the road that just needs something small done, you might want to help that person. But if you help people at the cost of your business will fail to succeed, and therefore you're failing, and therefore you can't afford to either feed your family or pay your bills at the cost of helping others. A lot of us in this industry think that because we have the ability, we need to use it. But if you can't help yourself first, you cannot possibly help anyone else. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I wrote some notes because I just want to make sure that I stay on topic. So I gave you the background on why I adopted this method, and I've tried numerous different things, but this is the one tried and true thing, and it is really truthfully 3 rules that I stick to. And all of this happens in the very beginning when a client first reaches out. So I told you about my background. I told you about how your time is essentially wasted when you're trying to service every customer. It is not beneficial or profitable for your business. So let's get into rule number 1. Providing a range. So in negotiating, this is a very powerful tactic. I read a book by Chris Voss, and it is called Never Split the Difference. So if you're interested in reading and you want to learn something new, go check that out. But we'll stick to providing a range. So let me give you an example. A client reaches out, or a potential client, either they send you an email, phone call, whatever, and they're spewing off all of the things that they want. Great. You, being the professional, you understand what it's going to cost to get those things done. Now, instead of getting off the phone and being like, sure, I can make time for you tomorrow, and run out there, option 1. Another option is you can try to pre-qualify, which is what a lot of people in my industry do, and want to ask them a series of questions or ask them their budget. 1 is wasting your time, which you're running out there to do something that you're not even sure if that client's a good fit for you. And 2 is you're asking very stark, cold questions that might put a bad taste in a potential customer's mouth, sort of say, and you don't want that. You want to make sure that you and the potential client are on a level playing field and that they feel comfortable and they can trust you. So the best way to do that is to throw out a range. So if you throw out a range for, say, there's a bathroom remodel, it's a master bath, they're like, we want to switch out the tub for a soaking tub. You know that this is a big price item. They want to retile the shower, they want to change the vanities, etc., etc. You can give them a price range. So say you gave them a price range, okay, well, for all of that, just off the top of my head, because we do these types of projects all the time, it's our specialty. You're looking at a price range of $60,000 on the high end to, say, $45,000 on the low end. You can narrow this down by the area in which they live. If you say, okay, well, you live here, like I know I've done 4 or 5 projects over there, and this is typically the range for houses of your size. Now, by providing a range, you're not giving them a stark number like, okay, this is gonna cost X amount. You're opening it up for them to say, oh wow, like, okay, maybe all of my wants and desires are like a little bit too much, you know? So here is where the conversation opens, and you can say, that's for all of the stuff that you're requesting, because plumbing is a lot, electrical is a lot, you know, the countertops material is gonna cost such and such. If you opted to leave the tub where it is, or, you know, not increase the footprint of the shower, or leave your vanities, you can look at a price range of, say, 20 to 30 or 30 to 20,000. Now this gives them the ability to start talking about numbers without you straight out saying, hey, what's your budget? Because they're automatically going to assume, and rightfully so, that you're going to meet at that budget. And maybe they like, you know, it's this instinct thing where like, well, if my budget's 40 grand, I only want to spend 30. You know, I want to get everything I want for 30. They always want to think that they're getting a bargain. And I just think that you, instead of having to force them to do something else, you just have to massage the conversation, sort of say. This will also, as they're talking, it will probably reveal their budget is. You will either see, and this is what I see, is that there's clients who are right on, they're like, okay, awesome, let's go, what's the next step? That's great, I think that price is great. Or there'll be a client that's like, whoa, I was thinking 10,000 for all of this. And they'll just completely be way out of the ballpark and way out of range of reality. So now you've only spent like 5 minutes either on the phone or on an email while you were drinking your coffee or using the bathroom, whatever you prefer. And you didn't even have to leave your house. And that is how I handle every single customer. There is not a single customer that I immediately run out to go to their house. Now, I also do a lot of marketing on social media. So that's a whole other video that I can do. So if you are interested, please drop a comment and I can go much further into detail, where I have clients that reach out to me and they already know what they're going to get from me and that they don't care about the price. They're like, I want you because you are you. And that should be every single contractor's goal, because social media is effectively a free marketing tool. So you can literally reach your specific target client. Is this real life right now with these text messages? Okay, so rule number 2 is going to be charging for estimates. So after you've gotten the range down packed and maybe you've gone through a few different scopes of work to kind of meet at the client's budget. So now you're fully aware of expectations, the client is fully aware of expectations, and now they want you to come out to their house and they want to move forward. They are asking, what is the next step? Your next step is to book a estimate, but really I like to call it a project budget. Because now we need to go out, we need to nail down the details, we need to really dig deep into the project, and now this is where I, the contractor, am going to spend a good amount of time getting all the numbers together so that that client is fully aware of the budget, and when I write up the contract, they know what they're signing for. I do not like to have my clients have any surprises. The only time there should be any changes or any surprises is if, one, they request a change order, they increase the scope of work or decrease the scope of work, or if there is any unforeseen major problems that we cannot see before demolition. And that is included in my contract, and I communicate that to them on site when I am there doing their project budget. So now, in order to schedule the project budget, what I tell them is it costs $200 to schedule a project budget. And if we end up working together and they put down a deposit for my scheduling, that $200 fee comes out of whatever the deposit is. So this project budget, I let them know to allot at least an hour for, because I go there, I go over the scope of work, I take detailed measurements, I write notes, I take photos, and I get together the list of subs I'm going to have to call to make sure that their project gets done timely. When I leave that house, I should have no further questions. I go home. My next step is to contact all of the subs to make sure that my price range and my estimates are in line, or if they need to provide me with an estimate like for counters or countertops, or to see what scheduling is like for any other trades. I will also go through and try to price out some major finishes, kind of like a standalone tub, any fixtures, or like big lighting if I know that they want to do a big change when it comes to lighting, and plumbing valves, etc., etc. All of that stuff, I make sure that I have a price range for them so that when I provide them with the project budget, I'm like, on the low end, your valve will probably be this, on the high end is this, etc., etc. And I literally give them a list for everything so that they know what their project budget is including and what it is not. Now, the next step after that is to get a deposit for scheduling. So now you've gone out, you spent your time there, they paid you the money for your project budgeting, you've gone through all of the details, you provided them with it in writing, now they're ready to go, they're ready to sign. They're saying, when can I get you on the schedule? What is your schedule like? My first thing is that I tell them pretty much the second that I meet them is, my schedule is open on this time. Does that timeline work for you? 90% of the time, the client is fine with that. And I will let them know that they need to put down a deposit. It's usually so small, 5 to 10%, depending on how expensive the project is. This isn't to buy materials, this isn't to buy anything, this is just to lock in my schedule, because a lot of times we're 3 months out, and the last thing I want is to have 3 months out of my schedule booked, and when it comes time, that client is like, oh, you know what, no. If I have 5% of their money, it doesn't matter if it's $500, they're gonna come looking for that very soon if they need to cancel. They're gonna say, hey, look, I can't do this, blah, 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 blah. I need my money back. And that's fine. And typically I will allow a cancellation within 30 days. So that's another thing you might want to think about when creating a contract, is when they can cancel the schedule on you, because that could cost you a lot of money. So in conclusion, I want to go over this one more time. Step 1 would be to provide them a range based on your best experience. I can provide a link below of what I use, but I really highly urge you to do a lot of the research for yourself and figure out what price ranges work in your area and for your business. You are going to have to do a profit and loss breakdown of what your business costs to operate, and like figure out all of your operating costs. That's another video that I can definitely do for you. If you want that, please leave a comment below. This video is completely different than anything I've ever done, so it really is going to depend on your reactions, if you guys like it or not. But I can definitely go way more into detail of the business side of things if you're interested. So then rule number 2 would be to charge for your estimates. And obviously you can give the money back to them if they choose to work with you. And number 3 is always take a scheduling deposit, like a 5 or 10% deposit, whatever you feel comfortable with. Now, one last thing I'm going to leave you with is my contracts are always broken out into at least 5 payments. I never take 50% up front. I want to build the trust. So like my relationship with my client is all built around trust. And I think that that trust goes 2 ways. The trust doesn't go one way where I give everything to the client and I get nothing in return. I need to, 1, get paid for what I'm doing, and I need to make a profit. And then number 2, the client also needs to feel safe that I'm not going to take 50% of their money and run. I always let them know that I just take a small scheduling deposit, and work doesn't get, we do not get paid until work is getting done. So meaning we break it out for demo, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, depending on the flow of the project and how big the scope of work is. So those are just some things to take away, and please comment below and let me know what you would like me to elaborate on more, because I would love to help you guys. Chris and I have struggled a lot with all of these things, and if we can help somebody get there faster than we did, we would absolutely love to help you guys. So let me know in the comments, and thank you guys for watching. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button, smash the like button, send it to a friend, send it to anybody, and also drop me a comment and let me know how you guys think I did. I'll see you next time.